So welcome to Glorious Adventure, a game I downloaded on a whim. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, so we're starting with this interesting sort of tower movement gameplay that's not really like anything I've ever seen before. So this is pretty interesting so far. I've trained my algorithm to serve me ads for lesser-known mobile games, because I'm into that. I'm very much into new things when I can get them. And this is interesting so far. I'm very curious how this is going to go. I won. Yay. Okay, so we're in sort of a cavern. I'm moving that manufacturer, you know, that publisher symbol around. Okay, we're in some sort of cavern. What are we doing? We're battling. I like the roguelike look to this. It's a battle. We are basically in this game, we're occupying territory and recruiting people. There's a bit of moving around every level. And I've seen stuff like that before, but it's a little bit innovative. Not necessarily super innovative. You can see the map just then. You know, it was at the top right corner. Okay, so we're summoning somebody. These summon games, always going to be summoning people. You know, we're upgrading somebody. We've got the battle power going up there. Definitely an upgrade simulator. That's alright. Sometimes these games make you only do it one at a time, but that game had me just upgrading about 4 times here. So we're going around and doing some things. Very nice. It's making me click on things. One thing, if you try this game, you have to realize that the tutorial mode is really heavy-handed. Not that that's a bad thing, necessarily, but one of those QOL things that I would really like in a game, and I've never seen, not really, is the option to turn down how enthusiastic the tutorial is. Because y'all, do you really think this is the first kind of game of this type that I've ever played? I guarantee y'all it is not. I know about summoning characters. I know that there's a place to go and do it. I know that I can upgrade my characters. I am aware of this fact. I know that there are typically different places to battle, usually a campaign, usually a set of resource dungeons. I know all of this. It's fine. You don't have to hold my hand on it. And I sort of have mixed feelings about those tutorials because sometimes you can ignore them and sometimes not. But if they don't code the game carefully enough, I guess, then if you ignore the tutorial, it messes things up. And sometimes it'll just say, please follow the tutorial guidance. And that's sort of patronizing, right? I'm clicking around because I want to explore the game on my own. That's why I play games like this. To explore the UI, to find out what I can do, to learn about the different parts of the game, right? Exploring the game is the game for me in these upgrade simulators. That's why I do it. So, I'm liking the look of this one so far. I don't think I've played it again since I recorded this video, but that doesn't necessarily mean a lot. I have a bunch of games, and I sort of rotate in which one I'm playing actively at any given moment. Okay, we're upgrading an artifact or something. Yes, nice. Okay, what do we have here? No, I really do like the walking around the map area. It feels more exploratory. Sometimes you see games like this and it says explore exotic lands or something, but it's not. It's just instantiations of a campaign track, you know, and you go through and you do, you know, chapter 2.4, chapter 2.5, chapter 2.6, up to chapter 2.40 or whatever it is. And then you're done. You know, you're done with that. And you go into chapter 3 and so on and so on. And there's not a ton going on. But see, this one has maps, and I like the idea that the maps are places you can walk around in. It gives you a little more control. It makes it seem more interesting. Just to be able to walk around at your leisure and do the stuff you want to do. Okay, so I got the artifact. Yes, I am indeed very lucky. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, okay, no, I didn't think that was the end of the game, but yes, thank you. It's nice. Gonna change my name to the name I always use. I decided on that a long time ago. I usually don't come up with a new name for games. I just pick the name I always pick, one of two names, typically. Not always. And if the main character is gender locked into a woman or girl character, sometimes I have said Jamie before. Like one game I played was Tears of Themis, which is an otome. And of course the main character's female, so I was Jamie in that game. And another one, what was it called? It was it was really interesting. It was about the Chinese imperial court. What was it? Something of the Empress. I can't actually remember right now. But anyway, the point of that was you're trying to navigate the court politics in imperial China, and it's got a little bit of a dress-up game going, and it's got a little bit of sort of a dating sim almost, but the emperor is who you're dating, and you have to navigate politics, and also you can die. Like, have you ever played a dress-up game where you can die? Because you can in that one. When I post this video, I'll remember which one it is and link it in the description of the video. But yeah, you can die in that one. I ran out of video, but I'm not out of things to say. But anyway, this is Glorious Adventure. It is pretty interesting so far. I'm going to keep on playing it, and we'll see. Okay? Have a good one.